In case you missed it, I went out to the streets of Texas to expose a massive H-1B visa scam. And I gotta tell you, the Indian scammers, news alert, they didn't like it so much.
I just have some questions about the H-1B visa workers that you have here. Quibbit's technology.
Can I call cops?
So are the workers in here?
Hey, somebody is knocking on my door and then they are like threatening me.
I'm not threatening you, sir.
Please, can you help me?
Stay tuned because that's just the tip of the iceberg. Welcome back to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Those of you who are joining us for the first time found us through our investigation. Welcome. We're glad that you're here. I have been looking at the both illegal and legal immigration system for a while. I've been talking about the fact that it's not just the illegal immigration system that is broken, but the legal immigration system is as well, obviously rife with fraud and corruption and scammers. And particularly with H-1B visas, we just dropped this investigation over on the second channel, Sara Gonzales TX. So if you guys have heard me say, hey, make sure you're subscribed to the second channel, we got some good stuff coming on the second channel and you haven't gone over there yet, now would be the time. If you haven't watched this yet, I'm just telling you, now would be the time, because we exposed how many people, as it turns out, are creating phony companies, shell companies, so that they can import thousands upon thousands of workers into our country and then come here and suck up all of our resources. Now, I want to play you guys a couple clips here so that you see a little bit of what we've uncovered. Obviously, you need to go to the second channel and watch it in full. It's about 21 minutes long, so I'm not asking you for a large investment of time. Now, I am going to warn you, it is going to make you very angry. I have heard that a lot today. People are very angry because they say it's very frustrating to watch this and feel like the government is not going to do anything about it. Well, I just am here to tell you that 3 weeks ago, Nick Shirley was like a YouTuber. And today he was on Capitol Hill giving testimony in hearings about Somalian fraud. So it just takes some shining the light in the darkness to bring attention and peer pressure to this matter. And when you get the pressure, it works. So I'm just saying, make sure to share this everywhere. Go to the YouTube page, share it with everyone, because we need more light on this particular issue. I'm going to play you this clip. This is apparently a huge technology company, big tech hub that sponsored a bunch of visas. Watch.
All right, we're heading over to a company called 3B's Technologies. Now, there were actually 27 H-1B visas approved in 2022 through 2025 for this particular company. The jobs include a software developer, software engineer, IT project manager. So I'm thinking like very high-tech hub for 3B's Technologies. Let's see what we find out. Are we sure? Do we have the right address here? This is 27 H-1B visas for this location, and it's a residential home. Okay, 130 Darbon Lane, Irving, Texas, 75039. This is the address that's on here, so would have 27 H-1Bs. Let's see, all right. Okay, the doorbell's broken. Not even looks like they boarded up the window. Hello? I'm looking for 3Bs. Hello? So very strange. 3B's Technologies is at a house, as it turns out, and the Ring doorbell's broken, so I can't even press it. They're probably watching me right now because they've got security cameras all over the place. No one at the door. No sign of life for the 27 H-1B workers at 3B's Technologies. Ma'am, just really quick. I'm not selling anything. I literally just have a question for you.
Please leave.
I was just asking if you had ever met the person who lives here.
I haven't, and I think that's it.
Okay, well, I'm trying. Hey, listen, hold on, please. I mean you no harm. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm literally just trying to expose fraud.
I understand.
Can you tell me what you've seen?
I'm on work calls and I can't deal with it.
Can you just tell me what you've seen?
I'm on work calls and I can't deal with it right now.
Okay, is there a better time to come back and speak with you?
Not really, because I haven't seen any calls. I haven't seen anything.
Well, you've seen some shady stuff go down then. Well, I mean, what are we talking here? I'll blur your face. I will blur everything. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it. Please, can we just come back? Okay, so this neighbor is obviously terrified to tell me what's going on. She just said multiple different times that she's seen some shady stuff go down and she has a family and she doesn't want to be involved. So whatever is happening here at 130 Darbon Lane for 3B's Technologies really stinks.
When you keep digging, it's like an onion, right? You keep pulling back layers and layer after layer after layer just stinks more. I mean, literally like an onion, right? It just stinks even more. You can't make this up. On the 3B's website, when there was initial attention brought to this issue with a viral video that has since been deleted because it was not accurate. Okay, I want to be clear here. There were some videos that went around that were not entirely accurate, but this company had already had a sneaking suspicion that people were onto them. So they tried to scrub that address, but they didn't do it properly because they still have Darbon as their United States address. So I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. But then they had also listed a new one. Both were still on there. It seems they had very clumsily scrubbed the address, but not well enough. So we thought, okay, well, they've just listed this new address. Maybe it was an oopsies. And I don't think so because it matches up with what is on the H-1B visa application. But we thought, let's just go out there. Let's go check out the address that they've now listed on the website, see if it's legit. Here's what we found.
7,300 right here. Okay. What in the world? So 7,300 Lone Star Drive. Okay. Clearly under construction. Oh, Legacy Club. Let's see if 3B's Technologies is anywhere to be found. This is a little alarming. Okay, there's literally no one here. Just an unfinished building. We've got a faucet, sink, countertop.
That was called a wellness room, by the way.
Look at this. There's nobody here. This has just been sitting here collecting dust, clearly under construction. Not a soul to be found, especially conveniently not the 27 H-1B visa workers that claim to work in this location. It's nothing. This is just nothing. There's nothing here. There's one more level. So let's look at this. There's dust all over the steps. There's clearly construction going on. This is not even a operational building yet. There's nothing here. There's nothing here.
So, as you can see right here,
This is an unfinished,
it's just
there's
all
nothing
construction.
here. It's under construction. The entire place is under construction. Where is 3B's Technologies?
Where is 3B's Technologies? It's a great question. You should watch the video to see what else we found, because what I can tell you is that this problem doesn't exist in a vacuum. There are probably an insane amount of companies who are pulling this off. They're going completely undetected by the government, which my question to the government is, where is USCIS on this matter? If I, Sara Gonzales, who some of my worst detractors would just call me a YouTuber, right? An influencer, what, insert name here. If little old me can just go on the government website and pull these addresses and match them up and see if it looks legit, why isn't the government doing that? I want to show you. I mentioned that like this has to be, look around you. Look around your communities. Tell me that this isn't a much larger issue that's happening intentionally by using loopholes and gaps in our visa system. I want to show you another big tech hub, a big tech hub that I visited over in Frisco, Texas, not too far from here.
Here we have Quibbitz Tech Systems, and this company, tech is in the name, so you would think technology, okay? They have filed 13 H-1B visas, and 12 were approved in the year 2025. One was denied. So you would expect that at least 12 people were working in this house right here. Let's see if that's the case. Hi. Hi, are you Hari?
Yeah.
Hi. I was wondering, I was just looking for more information on Quibbitz Technology.
Can you call cops? I can't call.
Yeah, sure. I would love for the cops to come out here. I just have some questions about the H-1B visa workers that you have here.
Right now I cannot talk anything. If you want, I can talk to my lawyer. Thank you.
Okay, so are the workers in here? Are the 12 workers for your company in here? Do they work out of here?
No.
Okay, so what is Quibbitz then? Qubits?
I don't want to talk.
Where are the workers? They're supposed to, USCIS says that they're here.
No.
Yes.
No.
Well, where are they?
They are in my company. I have a company where.
Where's your company located?
Hey, somebody is knocking on my door and then they are like threatening me.
I'm not threatening you,
So
sir.
Please, can you help me?
I'm literally asking you a question.
3 Promontory Drive,
Great.
Frisco, Texas 7503.
You're engaging in a conversation with me, sir.
Sir? Yeah.
Where is your office?
It's techsystems.com. You find address.
Can you repeat that? I don't understand. If you don't want to talk to me, just close the door.
03 Promontory Drive.
Okay. Clearly very freaked out because all I did was ask one question and then he threatens to call the cops. Starts calling the cops as if I'm doing anything wrong and then accuses me of threatening him because I simply asked where the workers are. Very strange. Like someone who was operating in good faith and yes, please. What are you going to come talk to us or not?
There he is again. He's so threatened he couldn't stop opening the door.
Does this seem like right here? Is this behavior of an individual who's done nothing wrong and is innocent? Is this type of behavior? Does that seem normal to you that you would go to these lengths and get so defensive if you were engaging in legal good behavior? It seems very, very suspicious to me.
I just have to say, honestly, like you got to hand it to them. The audacity of this man who allegedly, for legal reasons, seems to be committing visa fraud, is going to call 911 and use my taxpayer dollars to call for the services to come to his home that he shouldn't be in because I'm asking him questions at his doorstep is like so insane to me. Also, they did take it seriously. We thought about sticking around. We were like, maybe we should stay and talk to the cops and see what comes of it. Because I know I'm not doing anything illegal, but we didn't know how long it was going to take. It did not take long because they must have taken that threat seriously. I felt like we were robbing a bank on the way out. We were leaving as these 2 cop cars came swarming in. And I was like, this feels really weird. But this is happening in broad daylight, you guys. It's all happening in broad daylight, and our federal government allowed it to happen. There is a Texas lawmaker who I won't name because I haven't been given permission to share this. He texted me. I don't see why he would care, but I just for privacy reasons. And he's like, the federal government did this to us, and we didn't even get to vote on it. And it's so true. I'm not saying it started with President Trump, but he can end it if we get enough attention on this. So listen, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, he said, go to the website. This man said, go to my website. You can find my office there. We did. And you're going to want to see what that office turned out to be. Okay. Make sure to go over to the second channel, Sara Gonzales TX, over on YouTube. It is at Sara Gonzales TX. It's linked below. Subscribe to that channel while you're there because we've got more to come. This is part 1 in a multi-part series because there's just, when you peel back the layers, you just keep finding really, really bad, fishy stuff. So make sure that you are subscribed over there. And by the way, if you guys have something for us to expose like this, email us at saratips@blazemedia.com. That is SARATIPS at blazemedia.com if you think maybe there's some potential fraud happening in your area, and we will be on it. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. That's where you can find the full show Monday through Friday. And smash the like button, comment. It'll help us in the algorithm. So, Beam Organics. I don't know. I want to thank our sponsor here, Beam Organics. If you guys have not yet tried Beam, I'm telling you, if you don't sleep well, if you've got sleep interruptions and all of that, you need to try their best-selling Dream Powder. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with proven ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. And it's made with a powerful blend of all-natural ingredients. It's reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. And it's designed to help you fall asleep and stay asleep. And you're not going to be groggy. So if you've been waiting for the right time to try Dream, now's the time, guys. They're offering you, my listeners, an exclusive discount going into the new year. Go to shopbeam.com/SarahG, use code SarahG, and get my exclusive offer for up to 40% off Beam's Dream Powder. They've got a bunch of cool flavors. They all taste delicious. Use SarahG or Sarag as your discount code, and you can get it for $39. So how much would you pay for a truly great night of sleep? With my discount, it's $1.25 per night. That's nothing. Shopbeam.com/SarahG. Go there today. Now, when it comes to fraud, I mentioned earlier, I think, Minnesota is just kind of the tip of the iceberg. When you really start looking into this and you realize how much fraud is happening literally all around us. And I'm just wondering, when it comes to the issue of fraud in Minnesota, why Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is still, why is he still walking around free? Because the more you look into Keith Ellison, the more it's just like the same onion. It's just like that. It just stinks to high heaven. And when you start looking into this, it feels a whole lot. You guys tell me in the comments. Once I bring the receipts, it feels a whole lot like Keith Ellison may have been pulling off a long con, I mean decades long, just to facilitate Somalian fraud. It seems like this has been his goal for a very long time. So let's go back a little bit, okay? Before Keith Ellison was Attorney General, he was in Congress. He served in Congress from 2007 to 2019. And so that's quite a while. I'm not a mathematician, but that's 12 years. And you would expect that in 12 years serving in Congress, there would be a lot to show for it. right? Like he will have had a bunch of bills that he sponsored that passed, and he had a lot he did turn into the Minnesota AG. So like, obviously he was successful, except it turns out there's only one single solitary bill that he sponsored that ended up becoming law. Just this one. Okay. Money Remittances Improvement Act of 2014. It's the only one out of the 12 years that ended up becoming law that Keith Ellison sponsored. Money Remittances Improvement Act of 2014. What did it do? Well, it made it easier for non-bank financial institutions like money service businesses to provide remittance payments internationally, which, of course, is sending American money to foreigners across the world. It's something that we have tried to, our ideas here in America First Land is that there should not be remittances. And if there is a remittance that's sent to another country, you guys should be heavily penalized for sending money that should be invested in the American economy over to like your shithole country. But Keith Ellison was like, actually, we should be doing this. So in Keith Ellison's own words, I want to play for you this resurfaced interview that he did with, I'm not kidding you guys, I didn't even realize this was a thing. It's called the Mogadishu Times. Watch.
We just have met officials from the Somali money transfer companies and officials from the Franken Bank. What was the discussion about, Congressman?
Well, first of all, let me say Salam Alaikum, Ilyas. It's good to be here with you with the Mogadishu Times. The discussion focused on how we can keep money flowing to Somalia.
Oh.
Quite simply, one of the banks that helps to facilitate remittances from the United States to Somalia has now become worried about the degree of risk. They're worried that they could end up being prosecuted on a criminal basis or having the regulations come on them, because recently a lady named Amina Ali was convicted of gathering money for Al-Shabaab and then using a service to transmit that money. This bank was not used to transmit the money, but they fear that if somebody were to do that the government would come down on them, so that they're saying that they're just going to stop doing it.
So this guy's like, actually, let me tell you why we need to be sending more money to Somalia. The money cannot dry up in Somalia. They need all the help that they can. Their IQ's not high. They need our help. It's actually so incredible that all of this was out there. All the breadcrumbs were there this entire time. This has actually been an operation for a very long time for Keith Ellison. And I want to play for you his argument in like, well, here's why, because we, send money to Israel, it's very, very comparable. It's very similar, you see, the Somalia cause. Watch.
Israel. You know good and well that the United States supports Israel. I'm going to tell you why. Because Jewish Americans demand it. As citizens of the United States, it's their right to do so. So why would we sit up in this room as American citizens and not say, hey, look, American government, my government, the government where I say I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, why would you, when you pay your taxes, when you raise your kids, when you send your children to the army, why would you not ask your government to help the U.S.-Somali relationship? Am I making any sense to anybody?
No.
So, now, everybody in here needs to argue for the U.S.-Somali relationship.
No.
Don't come to an American congressman talking only about Somalia. Talk to him about how America's relationship with Somalia is mutually beneficial. Right?
No, not right. Keith, please show your work on this. I need to see your work. Please give me receipts on how it's mutually beneficial. This is a third world country with people who are inbred, and not my opinion, it's literally fact that they are like almost retarded level IQ. So I don't understand. Well, in the case of Ilhan Omar, she's there. She meets the threshold for that. I don't understand why. Now, I am happy to engage in an argument that we shouldn't be sending the money that we're sending to Israel either. But you at least can say, yeah, Iran very much wants to dismantle Israel and us. and we do have that shared vested interest. How in the world could you ever make that argument on Somalia? There's no argument there that it's mutually beneficial for us to send money to a war-torn country who then, in return, all they do is send us assholes like Ilhan Omar and Omar Fateh. I'm the captain now. That is not, we got the raw end of that deal, I'm just going to say. But on a serious note, lock him up. We need accountability for all of this corruption that has been happening for decades completely unchecked. Please, President Trump. That will be making America great again. All right, want to take a quick break, and then we will be back with my first guest. Want to thank our sponsor, though, first, Patriot Mobile. So I love the folks over at Patriot Mobile. I know I say this a lot, but Glenn and Jenny Story are some of the greatest patriots I've ever known in my entire life. And what most people don't realize is that Patriot Mobile is they're not just a wireless provider. You're not just going to get your cell phone service from them. They are also proudly an activist organization funded by selling top tier cell phone service. They have been on the front lines defending our freedoms, participating in the parallel economy long before it was cool. They risked everything and said, we are going to make this a central part of our company. And so they're going to deliver prioritized premium service on all 3 major U.S. networks while also helping grow a movement that fuels the Christian conservative cause. Every bill you pay helps advance the values of faith, family, and freedom. You can activate in minutes, keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Has all sorts of customizable family plans, so you probably will save money as well. I'm just telling you, take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Sara and use promo code Sara for a free month of service. When you go there, you're going to look at it. You're going to be like, I want to support this company. I have to have a cell phone anyway. I might as well do business with people who support me and not fight against me over there in the background. PatriotMobile.com/Sara, promo code Sara. Joining me now, we have an old friend of Sara Gonzales Unfiltered, Ryan Walters. He is, of course, the CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance, former Oklahoma State superintendent. Welcome.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Absolutely.
How's the new gig?
It's great.
Good.
I mean, we're crushing the teachers union.
Great.
We're taking the fight to all these radical leftists. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, well, they need crushed, I will say. I want to talk to you about that, but I saw a video that's gone viral, which, by the way, my parents watch this show every day, so I know that they're watching. I had a proud daughter moment when my dad texted me and he sent me this video that I'm about to play, and he's like, I just wanted to make sure that you saw this. And the title of the video that he sent me was like, based, student defends himself against woke teacher. And I was like, I love you, Dad. You're the cutest. But I want to play the level of nonsense being forced in schools. This is going to be a teacher arguing with students over the shooting of Renee Good in Minneapolis, falsely claiming that the ICE officer was somehow not in danger. Here's that exchange.
His move should have been to go like this if he was really afraid. Your job as a police officer is to de-escalate.
A split second.
No, he had no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
She was not. I'm not going to argue with you.
You're arguing right now. What are you doing? You're arguing right
Because watch the video. He was not in
Just
danger.
because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. Just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're winning.
Josh?
Yeah. Just because you're alive doesn't mean you are intelligent.
It sucks that she got shot, but it's a split. You have a split.
Just because you're alive doesn't mean you're intelligent, I believe is what I just heard the teacher say. Unbelievable.
She's fucking stupid.
Now, obviously, Ryan, you know better than anyone, this is a very pervasive issue. It's not just this teacher. The National Education Association actually called for more social activism on this particular issue. They sent out a memo from them on their letterhead, and they said, basically, we need to make this a thing. I'm not going to read all the statement because it angers me, but they said they demand that our leaders prioritize the safety, dignity, and civil rights of our communities. And of course, you must not let ICE in your schools, is their point. We have to stand up for our traumatized neighbors. The MAGA regime is coming into our schools and kidnapping them, and you need to make sure to stand up for them. It's just absolutely insane that this is still happening.
It is insane, and I appreciate you showing both points there because I think two things are important. First of all, look at the radicalism in our schools. By the way, that young student was exactly right. Actually, the ICE agent had a split second to defend his own life. What are you talking about? They're not murderers. They're not out to kill people. Like, that is outrageous. And you see a teacher exhibiting left-wing activism in the classroom. But the second point is very important as well, which is that this was a coordinated effort from the teachers' unions. Hey, ICE agents are murderers. Go push this in the classroom, that this is what ICE is doing. You've got to tell your students that the police are the enemy, that ICE is the enemy. And this is exactly what they're pushing into our schools. It's not a one-off. It's not, here's some crazy left-wing socialist teacher. No, this is the teachers' unions utilizing their foot soldiers to go, no, we are going to drive this message. We're going to undermine this country through the classrooms.
Yeah, Fox News just did this big expose. I know you're familiar with that. They showed that all of these federal labor filings showed that one of the country's most prominent teachers unions funneled millions of dollars in union funds to far left activist groups, ballot initiatives, and social justice organizations. So, it's like, what are we doing? It would be one thing what are we doing? This is our children. And in a lot of these places, the teachers don't have a choice. They have to join the union. They have to pay the fees. I mean, it's adding insult to injury that you're essentially stealing from someone because they want to have the occupation as a teacher. And then you're using it to fund causes that they maybe sometimes, I don't know these days, probably very, very minor. It's a minority of people that fight against it. But it's like, how can we stop this?
And by the way, shocking headline, right? Well, what do you know? The teachers union, despite saying they don't fund political causes, despite saying they don't they're not involved in political activism. Yeah, they're spending millions on political activism and left-wing candidates. Like, I mean, come on now.
Right.
But here's how you stop them. Number one, we have to defund them. Every teacher, you should opt out. Go to optouttoday.com. Get out of the union. Quit paying union fees to destroy this country. That's where your dues are going. And every state should be passing legislation to rail back on the union's power. There shouldn't be teachers' unions. I mean, in my organization, we are here very clear to defeat teachers' unions. We don't think they should exist. They should not. Taxpayers are paying for an education system. They should have good teachers in their schools. Parents should be the ones driving the decision-making on what the schools look like. Period. It's not complex. But what you have in the teachers union is this huge apparatus of power. They have a ton of money. They have a ton of resources. They are embedded in the Democrat Party. They are one of their biggest funders. And so they are a huge bully, and we have got to be pushing back. Or here's the reality. They're going to gear up all this before the congressional elections, just like they did for Kamala Harris when over $400 million went from the teachers union to her presidential campaign. Same thing is going to happen in this election cycle.
Yeah, I know that you've said that this is just basically money laundering for the Democrat Party. I mean, it is.
It is.
It's that simple.
I mean, so, and by the way, this is taxpayer dollars. Your money is going to pay a teacher's salary. The union gets a cut of that salary, and then they go funnel it into every Democratic operation in the country. Yeah, they're playing games with the money here. And then, by the way, the Freedom Foundation is suing the Utah Education Association because they said, hey, none of these dues go to any kind of political activism. Then they did their filings, and sure enough, it went to PACs and went to this and went to that. And they're going, you can't falsely advertise where you're spending your money. And so you're seeing this all over the country, and we've got to fight back and say, listen, they're doing it. They are lying to you about doing it. We have got to get them out of our schools. And again, you're going to continue to see this anti-Americanism. We didn't just wake up one day and you had the next generation that had millions of kids that sit here and think we're an evil, racist country. They think cops are bad guys. That didn't just happen. It happened because of a coordinated attack like you're seeing right now in the classrooms to convince our kids America's evil, racist, cops are bad, soldiers are bad, ICE is bad. It's outrageous, and we've got to turn this around 180 degrees in the other direction and go back to a patriotic education, love of country, love of American values. We've got to get back to that.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of unions in general. I understand why they were originally created because there were not any federal regulations and workers didn't want to be mistreated. I understand its original intent, but obviously we've gone so far from the original intention of any sort of labor union. But I'm thinking to myself, if there were a union to be had on the topic of education, shouldn't it be the parents and the students?
There you go.
Like, if we're going to do the union thing, isn't the whole point of this supposed to be education of students? I mean, we have gone so far off the reservation from this is what teachers are here to do. And now it's me, me, me. How can I benefit? How can I push my own agenda? And the students, poor students, are left completely, uneducated.
And I've talked about this before, but you look at our education system and they are getting the results that the system is designed to create. I mean, it's not an accident that the kids can't read, don't know math, but also hate their country, also think there's 27 genders.
Right.
This is exactly what the system, it's government-run schools, it's union-run schools. And again, you've got great parents out there. You've got good teachers that are caught in the middle of it going, we talk to teachers every day that go, I would love to leave, but do you know what they're going to do to me when I leave? Do you know what they did to my friend when they left? Do you see the targeting that goes on? And I'm just one teacher up against this apparatus of hundreds of millions of dollars. And so that's where we step in to protect them. But that's where we have got to dismantle the left's control of our schools or the next generation. I mean, again, it's amazing to see a young student like that pushes back on the teacher and has a very sound argument and even says, hey, just because you're yelling at me doesn't make you right. I'm going, you need to be the one teaching the class, not that teacher, But young people, they have come alive. They understand what's going on, and we got to keep fighting for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there is something to the generation that is just recently turned 18 and in high school. I think that they're salvageable. I do. I'm worried about the ones that have just recently graduated college. The ones that are younger, I really believe in. I think that they're going to be the key to all of this and turning the tide here, and protecting them from this indoctrination is so important. Tell everyone where they can find out more about your organization.
Thanks for that, Sarah. Yeah, teacherfreedom.com. Please come join us, and we want teachers to join, but parents, taxpayers, if you want to help get our schools back, make education great again by dismantling the teachers union and actually supporting good, patriotic teachers that are focused on academics and know that no one knows best for kids and their parents. Come support the work we're doing. Join up, and we'll keep you updated. But, hey, we are taking the fight to them. And Randy Weingarten, the teachers union, they're going down.
Love it. Love it. Great. Make education great again. Mega.
There you go. That's
mega. Right. We have MAGA. We have MEGA. We have Mega. So make sure to mega with Ryan Walters. I appreciate you being here, my friend.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right. Make sure if you're not already a subscriber to Blaze TV, go over to blazetv.com/Sarah. You can save some money, moolah, $20 with promo code Sarah. That is blazetv.com/Sarah. It's not just education that conservatives have had to claw back to getting. It's the entire culture war, right? Like, we have been fighting to win back the culture war, but the fight obviously isn't close to being over. And, it goes so far beyond not being afraid to use our voices to fight for our beliefs. We have to reclaim all of these things. We have to reclaim our territory. If we want our thoughts to be mainstream again, we have to reclaim the arts, pop culture, media. And so with that being said, I'd like to introduce my next guest, who is a true American patriot, Dan Fleuette. He is a film producer, writer, and photographer, has been fighting this fight for years. By the way, Dan, welcome. You're brilliant, kind of an overachiever, I would just say. Film producer, writer, photographer, good at everything. You currently run War Room Films, the film production and distribution arm of Steve Bannon's War Room. I want to ask you, well, first of all, welcome. But I want to ask you, how much progress do you feel like the right has been making to break into, this kind of pop culture, really taking culture back?
So yeah, great question. Well, I think we see the results of that and some really actually awesome progress since Donald Trump's been elected. First of all, you see the prize jewel of the cultural elite in D.C. being taken over by Ambassador Rick Grenell and Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center now. It's really heartening to see. One of the things that we also see with that Kennedy Center is all the commies and the lefties and the quote unquote artists who are disengaging from there now and really opening up a big opportunity for more classical artists or more less ideological artists to support it. So I mean, they just keep backing out in droves. They cancel and kind of proving that they're really just very thin-skinned and aren't there for the art as much as they're there for the validation of their lefty comrades. So that's really great to see. We also see at the if your audience is familiar with Venice Biennale, which is compared to the Super Bowl of the art world that happens every 2 years in Venice, Italy, is now being represented by Donald Trump's pick. He's a sculptor who actually lives in Mexico, was born in Utah. And again, you see the backlash from him or towards him with his representation. So he's picked as, the premier artist for America to represent America at the Venice Biennale, which is a worldwide organization. And his representation dropped him because he accepted the award to go there. It's actually amazing, but again, it opens up a lot of territory for right-leaning artists. And whether that be sculptors, artists, painters, musicians, filmmakers, photographers, you name it, whatever. It's all wide open. So we are seeing quite a bit of entree into those classically leftist organizations, and it's really heartening to see. We just need to keep going.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I don't know if you saw, did you catch the new Angel Studios animated movie, David?
I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to see it.
You have to see it.
I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it is incredible. It is. I mean, the animation is great. By the way, full disclosure, I know the people who run the production company that partnered with Angel. I'm very good friends with them, very close with them, and I was so happy that they did this. I mean, in my opinion, I can't wait to hear yours whenever you see it. It really stacks up with and is better than anything that Disney or Pixar puts out. The soundtrack is amazing. My 5-year-old son listens to it every day, and I'm like, I love this so much. It's music that I want him listening to. It's all, it's Christian. Obviously, it's about David from the Bible, and I'm thinking, is it getting cheaper for anyone to do this? Is it only available to people with the money to be able to do it? Like, how is this happening, and how do we get more of it?
Okay, so when you're talking about a big giant studio production like that, yes, it does matter.
You have to have the money.
You do need to have the money or the support or somehow like a funder or something to be able to do that, because the reality is it just costs money to do these things. However, there are a lot of ways to create content that doesn't have to be at that level. And the people doing it all the time. And I encourage anybody that's listening in your audience, if you feel any kind of pull towards doing things like that you should do it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We need more of that out in our culture. And if you affect 10 people, that's 10 people that you've affected. It's a force multiplier. And if 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people are affecting 10 people, that matters. And so, I always try to encourage people to do more and to get their voices out, and never ever think that, there's no audience for you or that it doesn't matter. It does matter. Yeah. And our culture desperately needs to get away from, the leftist indoctrination stuff like your last guest was talking about at schools. It happens in schools, but it happens in an even greater degree in the culture.
Yeah.
And, I love what Angel Studio's doing. One of my favorite films for the last few years was one that wasn't as well recognized as The Sound of Freedom, but it was Cabrini, which I thought was such a great movie. So beautifully shot and so well told. And I absolutely love the work that they're doing. And I'm not going to really be happy until the major Hollywood studios start recognizing that there is an audience for this, which they already, quite frankly, know. Yeah. But they're so beholden to the DEIs and the political correctness, and they've sort of like institutionally captured those institutions as well. We need to stop that. We need to break it. And I do think there's signs that it is like the whole DEI component is like fracturing in Hollywood, which I think is wonderful. And in fact, I went to see a movie, Marty Supreme, over the weekend, and I'm hesitant to say, but I think maybe it's starting to be safe to go to theaters again, because there wasn't any of the DEI in there, and you could actually watch a movie and talk about it on the merits of being a film. And it's been such a long time since you can do that. I really encourage people to see that, to support not things that just are ideologically aligned to the things that they believe and feel, but just even neutral things, or even just good filmmaking. I think it's really important to show the studios that if they put that kind of content out, that people will support it, and they won't be losing money on these disasters like like Disney keeps putting out. It's just nonstop lunacy. So I'm on a bit of a war myself to do anything I can do to make that happen.
Well, to that point, you did just release a really great documentary earlier this month called The Sleeping Giant on the January 6th saga and all of the misinformation. I think we have time to play a clip of that. Let's watch.
Oh, great.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th. This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they lived.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 Patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking. They are standing. And they are telling the truth.
I would encourage everyone to go watch the full documentary on the Real America's Voice app. But you said, you know what? These people deserve to tell the truth and to tell the real story.
Yeah, and I know we're running out of time here, so I'll be quick. But the beauty of that film is not in that it's a kind of retelling or a more sane telling of what actually happened on January 6th, but about the challenges that those people who were in prison, often without trial and having their constitutional rights stripped, how they found a sort of like brotherhood in singing the national anthem, while they were in prison. And so really the back half of that story is about how they all came together and created an album. Now, this is the power of what I'm talking about in your audience and other audiences. That song that they released from that album went to #1. That's a #1 in the nation. Over Christmas, it was going toe-to-toe with Mariah Carey.
That's amazing.
So this like tiny audience was able to affect such a huge change.
That's awesome.
And make Billboard take notice.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dan Fleuette.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.